stone. And you pick out your bezel wire. Your bezel has to fit your ring. In other words, the height of the bezel has to fit the stone. So that bezel wire fits. Always leave an 1/8 of an inch for your stone. An 1/8 of an inch bigger than the stone. File the ends so that they're nice and straight. Then you tension set your bezel wire. Now, I don't know how else to describe it, but you just have to play with it to get it to set together like it needs to. Just like that. Now I'm going to show you a different type of soldering. This is called pick soldering. You use pick soldering in a lot of different instances. I'm just wanting to demonstrate pick soldering and stick soldering. Flame should be proportional to the amount of silver. I've got a little bit of silver, so I need just a little bit of flame. Now I'm going to ball up the solder. So it's a nice tiny ball, and I'm going to put it right on the end of my solder pick, just like that. The gasket what I'm doing right now is burning off the flux. I put the tip, the solder, right down there on the seam, and it melts. That's pick soldering. Now I'm going to show you stick soldering, which is a different form of soldering. First I'm going to cool that off. Always mark your back sterling. Gonna flatten it out a little bit. So the bezel wire sets flat on it. Dry this off a little bit. Scratch up the bottom of the bezel wire. Make sure your stone fits the bezel wire by reshaping it. There we go. Place it down on your plate. Flux. Make sure you get flux all the way around. Turn on the gas, would you? Thank you. Now, your solder will turn to liquid, and that's what runs around the base, is the liquid solder. And as long as you're putting your flame in a circular motion around that surface, you will get silver solder. See how that's just soldering right down, and all I'm doing is sticking the stick in one spot. And it just solders right down. All by itself, the solder runs. And we're done. That's stick soldering. So you've seen pick soldering and you've seen stick soldering. The other form is chip soldering, and you'll learn that in any basic class of silversmithing. Always use copper tongs to put your stuff in the pick. When you take it out, you now have enough room on your plate to put any kind of design or pretties or flowers or anything that you want around the outside plate before you cut it out. That's what it looks like when you put other things on the plate before you cut it out. And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope it was